Hello, my name is Pam Heath, and I am the Yes Coach. I call my coaching Yes Coaching. Today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the energy of yes and about my process and how you can utilize my process to leverage to the life and business of your dreams. It's what I do. Before I get into all that, though, I'm going to talk a little bit about myself and how I became the Yes Coach so that you can get my credentials and figure out who it is this lady is who says that she's the Yes Coach. So, talking a little bit about who I am and how I got started, I'm going to explain to you basically how I came to be. So, I'm somebody who have enjoyed what some people would call success in life. I started out as a legal secretary years ago, and I built my way up from being the legal secretary in a law firm to being the legal administrator in that firm, managing and taking care of the entire office, the attorneys, the employees, and I even became a liaison to the technical department. Everybody referred to me and deferred to me. I helped them go from a DOS environment to a Windows environment, and they trusted me and took it on at a time when a lot of people didn't like the concept of Windows and didn't understand the concept of using a mouse. These days, that's kind of hard to hear, but I remember when a mouse was foreign and nobody wanted to deal with one. But that's basically who I was. And by the time I got to the top of my career, I was the legal administrator. I had the wonderful job, respect, love, support, and partnership with the attorneys. And I met the man of my dream, a musician. And I have a soft spot for musicians. I adore them. And I married this man, and we had a family. I lived in my dream home, which I got for virtually nothing. It was an incredible home, a home that I just loved. I brought my dream car. I went on the lot, saw it, picked it, and drove it off the lot the same day. My life was almost magical, if you will. I was somebody who just had everything, everything at my fingertips until disaster struck. The unthinkable happened. My eldest child, my beloved daughter, committed suicide, and it blindsided me. I was devastated by it. I wasn't expecting it. And I tell you that there's a stigma attached to suicide. It's not just about the fact that the person passed away, the fact that they took their own life. You feel a sense of shame and guilt, like there is something missing in your parenthood that they somehow didn't want to live. And so I was dealing with all that, and I began that slow circling the drain phenomenon where I began to lose everything. I lost my job because, quite frankly, they had to let me go. I stopped showing up for work, and when I was there, I wasn't engaged at all. After losing my job, of course, I couldn't pay my mortgage, so my dream home was foreclosed upon. I lost my car to foreclosure, and then the final straw was my husband of 26 years died suddenly from complications of undiagnosed diabetes. So there I was. I was homeless. I ended up living on the street in my son's minivan. And to make matters worse, I had absolutely no hope for the future. I literally thought that I wanted to die. And I was certain that life was over for me. I was in my 50s after all, my late 50s. How in the world was I going to recreate and reinvent my life after having lost everything? And then something happened. And as I share with you, authentically about this, I'm amazed. But an incident happened that changed my life. And what happened was I was attacked. Somebody who had been watching me and noticed that I was living on the street decided that they wanted to take advantage of me. And one day I could feel that somebody was watching me. And while I was bent over, standing in the street, rummaging in my trunk, I heard footsteps rapidly coming up behind me. And this man grabbed me and tried to force me to the ground. He clearly was going to assault me. And in that moment, the epiphany happened. The defining moment of my life happened because I realized two things that changed my life. The first thing I realized is I wanted to live. And this was amazing because, see, in that moment when he grabbed me, and it was very I knew in that moment I wanted to live. I knew I wanted to live, and I fought like a Tasmanian devil. I was flailing around and punching and hitting and screaming, and I whirled around and shoved him with all my might, and he fell to the ground. And I could see from the look on his face that he was startled, shocked. He wasn't expecting me to put up that level of fight. And while he lay there on the ground, I jumped into the car and I locked the doors, and he couldn't get in. He tried. He shook the car and he ran around and ran around trying to see if there was some way he could get in, but he couldn't. And then I called the police, and he could hear me talking to police, describing him and what was going on, and he ran away. And when he ran away and I was sitting there waiting for the police to arrive, I got my second epiphany. And my second epiphany was this. I not only did I want to live, but I didn't want to live like this. And so from that day, I began to reinvent myself and strove to create for myself my future. And the Yes Coach was born. I picked up the phone and I called an associate and I told him, how's your business doing? How's your team? You know, I could come in, and if your team is having trouble, I can empower them, I can train them, and I can help them be more productive. Would you like to give it a whirl? And he said yes. My very first client. I came in and I worked on his team, and he was very, very satisfied and told his friends and associates. And one by one, I began to build a team. And I began to build a team for my client, and it was everything he hoped for. And in doing so, step by step by step, I built a successful coaching business. How I did it was through getting really clear, having clarity around what it is that I provide as a coach. And it's important for you to have clarity so that you can monetize your unique message to market. If you don't know, if you kind of are struggling with that level of clarity, the Yes Coach is your gal. You want to know that in me becoming the Yes Coach, becoming somebody who could make a difference, I had to be really, really clear about what it is I provide. I'm a certified life coach. I'm a business strategist. I am a branding expert. I'm also a mother and a grandmother, and I teach my clients to say yes. How I do that is through what some people call the law of attraction. And if you've heard of the law of attraction or saw the movie or read the book, The Secret, this is basically what I teach, except I call it the energy or the science of yes. Yes energy is the law of attraction, and it's one of many laws of the universe, of which we live our lives inside of without really truly understanding them. It doesn't matter. You don't have to understand them. You don't even have to believe in them. It's irrelevant how you feel about these laws. They exist, and they are how we live our lives. I'll give you an example. There's the law of gravity, a very, very critical law of the universe. We live our lives inside of it. We know from a very young age, we understand the concept of what goes up must come down. You know that you can't go to the top of a tall building and jump unless you have some kind of structure in place to push against the resistance of gravity. You're going down hard. And you understand that, though you may not be able to effectively communicate how that law works, you may not even believe in that law. It doesn't matter. That law dictates the boundaries of which you can do what you need to do. Gravity. Another law of the universe is balance. When you learned how to ride a bicycle or, ride on a skateboard or even wear skates, you're utilizing the law of balance. It's a law of the universe, and it exists whether you believe in it or not. And you live your life in the confines of the boundaries of that law. The law of attraction, or the energy of yes, as I call it, it's the same thing. You don't have to believe in it. You don't even truly need to understand it, but you need to understand the confines of the boundaries of that law. And I teach the energy of yes. how it is that you can leverage your knowledge and belief in that energy to the life and business of your dream. This is what I do. I wrote a best-selling book. It's an international bestseller on Amazon called Say Yes, 7 Steps to the Life of Your Dream. In that book, I tell you how you can step by step take yourself to the life and business of your dreams by utilizing the energy of yes. I'm also in a second bestseller called Harmony and Chakras, Volume 2. That's a compilation, and I have one chapter in that book in which I outline the chakra called the root chakra, which is your chakra that manages your finances, your success, your riches come from that chakra. And I teach about the energy of yes in that chapter and that book. They're both bestsellers. You can find them on Amazon, help you get understanding into what it is that I teach and how I teach it. So I became the yes coach. And being the yes coach and growing up in the way that I grew up, being successful, having a happy family, it's all outlined in my story, which you can read about in my book. I scored the top 10% in the nation on the SAT when I graduated from high school, and I went to the University of Southern California and I studied broadcast journalism, though I didn't pursue a career in journalism because I found myself disillusioned by that world. So, again, from rock bottom, my daughter committing suicide, losing my job, losing my home to foreclosure, getting my car repossessed, becoming homeless, all the things that happened to me to send me to rock bottom, my husband of 26 years suddenly dying out of the clear blue sky. I went from rock bottom to building day by day, client by client, a 6-figure consulting company. Would you like to see how I took the energy of yes and leveraged it to the life and business of my dreams? Would you like to learn how I did that? Well, that's what I do. I teach people to recreate the path that I set when I created my life. And I have a 3-step process in which I do that. That process is very, very simple, and it will give you all the clarity you need for your process, whatever it might be. The 3 steps are discover, design, and deliver. I'm going to teach you how to discover, design, and deliver your unique message. And this training and development is specifically for people like you, entrepreneurs who are coaches or speakers or motivational speakers or health and wellness coaches or creative artists, people who are actors, singers, or writers, or conscious professionals, which is what I call them, people who are psychic mediums or numerologists or tarot readers, people who are heart-centered or spiritual people. I help them too, because a lot of times with them, they operate their business like it's a hobby and they have full-time jobs to pay the bills. This is something they do on the side, a hustle. I turn your hustle into your meal ticket, and I teach you how to use the energy of yes to do that. How you're going to do that is you're going to discover for yourself, inside of distinguishing your unique message, what problem you solve for people. Solving that problem is the key to clarifying your message. When you teach people the solution, you give them access to transformation, and that's what it's all about. So let's say you want to be someone who speaks or delivers some kind of product or service. You want to define your niche and you want to reach a specific audience. That's what I teach. So defining the energy of yes and getting you access to power around leveraging that, and then getting you very, very clear around what it is that you do, what you provide. That's one of the ways that I give you access to power as a trainer and as a coach. So you've got a problem that you have a solution to, and you found the solution to your problem, just like I found the solution when I recognized that I wanted to live and I wanted to create a new future for myself that didn't include me living on the street. Now that you've found the solution and you've actually figured it out and you know what to do, you now want to share it with the world, which is what I'm doing now with you. So first, you got to get clear on your unique message, and I'm going to help you do that. You want to get clear on your message, and you want to get clear on who that message is for. So that's one of the first things I teach you as I start to walk you down the pathway to the life and business of your dreams. You also then need to design how you're going to go about delivering that message, whether you're going to be a speaker, whether you're going to be somebody who coaches people and goes and markets yourself as a coach, however it is you want to have access. Maybe you want to write a best-selling book and speak to people on book signing tours. Whatever that is, I'll help you find that. So one of the things that inside of designing your message is you're going to get really clear about your why. Why are you doing that? What are you up to? So I want to share with you that what I've been doing as a coach is I've been helping my clients to actually have the dream life that they've always wanted. And I have many, many satisfied customers, all of which I created after I lost everything. I gained it back step by step. I'm going to teach you how to do that too. Part of being somebody who creates the life for themselves is what I do is I train people from the mentors and things that I found that inspired and motivated me. One of which I want to share with you was a TED Talk that I saw given by Jane Fonda called The Third Act. I was 56 years old when I set out to create my business. I'm now 67 years old, and I'm here to tell you that I'm in my third act. Jane, in her TED Talk, outlined life just like a 3-act play. In a play or a movie, the first act is where you meet the characters. You see who they are, learn about their ups and downs, their personality, how they operate in life. In the second act, you're going to learn about what they're up to and the obstacles that are in their way. In the third act, that's the act. That's the resolution of everything they've been up to. That's when you will not go for popcorn or go to the bathroom. You're sitting on the edge of your seat. You're waiting to hear what's going to happen now. You're excited. This is the best part. Life is like a 3-act play, and people like me are in our third act. But you notice that most people don't go into their third act excited and passionate about life. Usually they retire and go somewhere and sit and wait to die. That's when they have total resignation, not really up to much. And that's not what I'm doing. In my third act, I'm going for it with full tilt boogie. And I want you to do the same. The third act is such an integral part of my training. I utilize it all the time with all my clients. It's in my book. It's in my teachings. And the producers of an Apple TV original show called Dear ... got a hold of my message and invited me to be part of their season 2. If you look at the Apple TV original series called Dear ... you'll see that they take celebrities and they introduce them to ordinary people who are inspired by them, and they have them tell their story so that that person can actually hear how they've made a difference in ordinary people's lives. So I got to tell my story to Jane Fonda, how her TED Talk, The Third Act, inspired me to create the life and business of my dream. You can watch that episode. It's episode 5, Dear Jane Fonda, in season 2 of Dear ... on Apple TV. And you'll get to see how I acknowledge Jane Fonda and tell the story of my life and how I built my business. And I'm very excited to share that with you. So I invite you to go look at that episode on season 2, episode 5 of the Apple TV original series called Dear ... So I want you to know that you can do it just like I did it. You can learn about the energy of yes. I can teach you. I'm going to share real quickly about my family, my 2 sons, adults, Zalo and Anthony. They also have, my 2 sons have daughters. This is really fun. I'm a grandmother. My son's Anthony, his daughter is Gabriella, and she is 9 years old. And everybody tells me she's like a mini me. I have a granddaughter who looks just like me. She acts and talks like me. She's just adorable. My son Zalo, he has a daughter named Zoe, and she's the apple of my eye. She's adorable. She's very smart. She's 3 years old. And my 2 granddaughters and my 2 sons are my why. So that's my why. What's yours? Let's discover it. You can start today building the the life and business of your dreams, just as I did. I can help. Are you ready? Are you up for it? I say yes. What do you say? The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams, says Oprah Winfrey. What do you say? It's like Indiana Jones going for it. Let's have you live the life of your dreams. Why not? I'm Pam Heath, and I'm the Yes Coach, and I live the life of my dreams. How about you? You can reach me at pamheath@yescoachforyou.com, and I'll give you instant clarity in how your message to market can give you the path to the life and business of your dreams. I was happy to be here today. I hope you were happy to hear my message. I look forward to meeting you. Take care and be well. Say yes.